Hey guys, happy spring break. And we have our first male interviewee. I love it. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, this is Leslie Casey Blake and welcome to 50 and Unfiltered, episode 8. I am so excited about this show. We have our first male interviewee, and I think that should be the big surprise here. We want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to talk on the show. So I know I said in previous episodes, a lot of people were saying, hey, I think we might want to get a male's perspective. Some of the guys came to me and said, yeah, I would love to do that male perspective. So here we are. So excited about my interview with Greg Schroeder Jr. He's going to talk about his fashion company, and we're going to talk about a lot more. If you like what you see in here, please click and subscribe. Comment below, ring that notification button to get all the episodes. Hey guys, what's going on? For me, it's spring break. It's been kind of a hectic and crazy last couple of months. As you all know, I'm an educator, so I'm back in person, mask, hand sanitizer, the works. So it's been kind of hectic trying to do this, but I love it. I love all the craziness. Today, since we have such a great interview with Greg, we won't have our wellness segment with Miss Veronica Oden. She's actually on spring break too, but we'll both be back in April to give you some more updates to help you with some wellness tips and ideas. All right, so today we're going to talk to Greg. We're going to have our entertainment and another little entertainment surprise for you guys. All right, guys, so take care, and I'm going to see you real soon. Hey everybody, this is Leslie Casey Blake. I am here with our first male interviewee, Greg Schroeder Jr. How you doing, sir?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Hi, how are you, Leslie?
I'm great. I am so excited. I want to thank you for being the first here. Like I was saying in one of my other videos, I said I've been listening to a lot of men. They've been coming to me. They're like, this would be cool. We want to tell our businesses, and hopefully eventually we'll expand and talk about trending topics and things like that. Come back to the show, start doing those things. So it's a great start, and I really appreciate you joining me today.
I'm so honored to be here with you. And you look gorgeous, by the way. That melanin is popping. The hair's done. You got the bling bling. I mean, I'm saying fashion already.
Right. I try. I mean, look, I know I was getting ready to be with the fashion, sir. So I'm like, I got to make sure that I'm in lockstep. Okay.
You got it.
Well, just a real quick, brief commentary. Greg and I used to work at a school in Baltimore City, and we just stayed connected on Facebook. And I said, hey, would you like to be on the show? And Greg happily accepted. So that's how we are here today. So Greg is going to talk about his business and what he does in the world of fashion. And I'm telling you guys, if you haven't already, I'm sure Greg will give you some information later on in the interview of where he's at and how to find him on social media. But let's talk about Greg and your business. Greg, how did you get started, sir?
So I started back in 2015. Actually, I started doing the lapel pins that you wear on your suit or on your, whatever tie that you're wearing. And I started doing women's apparel, actually, women's lapels, actually, because they were more elaborate, more flowery, and you could just do more with them. So it was pretty successful at first, but then I was like, what about the guys? Like,
yeah.
What about our fashion? What, we're concentrating, like when you think of fashion, you think of women first.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, no, let's do the fellas. Since I'm a fella, since I'm a guy, let me cater to what I like, how I want to feel. Let me cater to what I want to look, and perhaps somebody will, attach themselves to that or see that. And so I started doing the lapels for men, and actually that started to soar. And I didn't really know what I had a foundation. I went to school and I took a couple of business classes, so I had a sort of a foundation of what a business is, an outline.
Right.
So I was like, "What is this? Am I selling stuff? Is this a business? What is this?" I'm like, "I don't know what I'm doing."
Right. I'm just
like,
selling, but I don't know what I need to do business wise. Right.
Right. I'm like, "What am I doing?" I said, "Well," because I would post it online on my personal Instagram, and people would inbox me like, "Oh, I love this. Can I get one made for my son's prom or for my little brother's prom or whatever?" So I was like, "Yeah, sure. Can I, for church or whatever?" So I started making the lapel pins for the men, and okay, I said, "Well, this is going pretty well." I said, "Let me put a name to this now. Let me name it." So it started, just building very slowly. So I said, what is a good name that will catch people's attention and have it be a conversation starter? So I looked up, just stuff in fashion, like fashion words or phrases, and I saw the name haberdashery, and I was like, oh, that's a nice name. It's long, but it's really nice.
Yeah.
So I started to research haberdashery is, or my connection to haberdashery. So haberdashery is just a central place to get like all your little notions, your buttons, your alterations, and all that made in like one place.
Wow.
So that's what I wanted to portray, like a place where you can just get all of your stuff in just one fell swoop and just be gone. So I said, well, I'll call it Greg's Haberdashery. I mean, that's a very unique name anyway. So I started there, and I started vending in different places. I got a little table set up, and it started to be really really nice, and started building. Next thing you know, my product is placed in stores probably like a few months later. I'm like, what is going on here?
Wow.
So, and especially in Black boutiques, because I like supporting, Black businesses as well.
Right. Yeah.
So it was in a few Black boutiques here in Baltimore, and that was so, honored and privileged for that to happen. And, it really taught me more about being in business as far as, the vendor versus, the person who's coming in and having the product and how to have that conversation and payment, payout, all that, all that stuff. So yeah, it was a whole lesson, like on my feet the whole time. So it's going pretty good. So I was challenged to do more than just lapels. So somebody was like, because I've learned in fashion, things aren't permanent, right? Things go in cycles.
Yeah.
So like a lot of this, a lot of the 70s fashion is still coming back. Look, actually, a lot of the 80s fashions are coming back.
I don't even know if I really like the 80s, but I love the 70s. And it's a weird
70s, and at this point, things are going pretty good. I was still vending and everything and learning on my feet. And then I was challenged to do more. So I'm self-taught. So I taught myself how to make bow ties and neckties. And, I was scared to do actually, this is one of my pieces here.
Yeah.
So I said, what can I do to kind of start off? So I taught myself how to make bow ties and neckties, and that was selling in stores and doing very well and vending. And then I was like, how can I build? Because this is an empire I'm building. So I said, I can do more like men's accessories and stuff since I'm already in the vein of men's fashion.
Yeah.
So I started doing like cufflinks and beaded bracelets and necklaces and rings. I was actually making the copper rings that has the stone on top.
Yeah.
I was making that, and I think it was maybe 2018 I started doing actual apparel. And I was just challenging myself. I said, Greg, what is next? You know, what else you got going on since you're gonna build an empire?
Yeah.
I was and I make body butter too, and
So you wait a minute, you it's like crazy. You doing all that. So with all of that going on, what is the like? Because I know you kind of stumbled on doing all the men's
I did.
apparel and the accessories. So what's your mission now? Because now you've got all this different stuff. So where do you see yourself now?
Right. So at that point, my mission was, a personal mission was just to challenge myself, but a mission from my business, it was still ongoing. So I wanted to kind of make men's accessories relevant again. I wanted to just make it normal, like, because what I found was my mission, it kind of like grew along with how I deal with people.
Right.
So, and not that it's negative, but when people come to my table, I kind of tell what's going to happen. If you got money, I can tell. If you don't got money, I can tell. It's that vibe. So when a couple comes to my table, and the man, and this kind of makes me a little bit irate, but it's like whatever. So when a couple comes to my table, and the man says, "Oh, my lady dresses me," I'm like, "Oh, it's like your fingernails going through a chalkboard." It's like, "Oh, I don't like this." So that was my mission, to make men comfortable in dressing themselves, to make men comfortable in expressing themselves, and not feeling like it's a sexuality issue, like it's a feminine, and to be comfortable in themselves and express themselves in fashion, and not be, conservative. I mean, we have conservatives. Actually, I'm a conservative, but I like a little pop here and there.
Funny that you say that, because when you say that, the woman says I'm dressing him, and I think it is this thing that men kind of shy away from dressing themselves for some reason. Yeah. And then it looks like the woman is trying to tell them what to do, but in essence, they're trying to tell them this is what you should be wearing, something that he should already feel comfortable already doing himself, right? So it's kind of one of those things. So I think if you get more men feeling like that, and I think that's a great thing, because I dress my husband, but my husband, he's of a certain age now, so he's like, yeah, go ahead. But but I'm saying that
that's fine.
That are coming up, that are successful, that need, that extra flair, that little pop that doesn't necessarily need it from the partner or from the female counterpart.
Right. Yeah. So I want us men to be comfortable in learning how to put pieces together, because I sell lapel pins, like the metal ones now. And I'm trying to expand so I can help that narrative that, hey, it's okay that a man wants to wear lapel. It's okay if a man wants to wear, a nice blazer with a t-shirt and a hat to match. It's quite all right to express yourself in that. It's good to know your measurements. Mm-hmm. That's a big thing for me. Yeah. Like, men, know your measurements, know your neck size, your chest, know your waist, know your hips, know your inseam, know your sleeves, all of that. It's all about being comfortable with who you are.
They go to do all those measurements. Say if they like, I don't know how I'm gonna get all these measurements done. Where would I go?
Yeah, so if I'm not available, then you can go to a local tailor and they'll do it for you. Okay. Or if you know somebody that has that experience, or go on YouTube or research it. It's I'm telling you, I learned everything from YouTube.
YouTube is like God.
YouTube power. And I graduated summa cum laude from YouTube University.
Right. YouTube and Google, which they're
Google.
anyway, so it don't matter. So
Well, I'm a visual person, so I got to see everything. So men can learn how to take their measurements and, how to, and that's something that I had to learn too, like how to take my measurements, and how to read sizes, and read European sizes, because some stuff that we order comes from Europe, comes from China, and they have their own sets of sizes that are not U.S. sizes. It's different from us. And as soon as you know it, you got it going on.
Right.
And your husband can dress himself.
I know. He's gonna be like,
look what I put together. Are you proud of me or what?
I know, right? See, after he watches this, he's gonna be like, I'm ready. I'm like, okay.
Now we're here. I'm
gonna see you to brag, and then you be ready.
I want to be that guy this is what I want to be, that guy that people go to. I want to be that resource.
Yeah.
Men or women, because women, I have women clients too that likes, my products and my accessories.
Yeah.
That can get everything done. You get your measurements, I can make your clothes, I can get accessories, I can hook you up with the beaded bracelets, with the and I do, fashion consultation as well.
Okay.
And that's something that's kind of like stumbled upon, over time. So it was quite a bit interesting.
I just hearing this is just like, because like I said, you see pictures, you see the the person evolving, but you don't know all the background information, right? You don't know all the stuff that they had to do to get to this point. We always see the finished product, always, but not when they're going through that part, like you say, looking at YouTube and I had to learn how to make this and all that. You don't see all of that. You just see the finished product. You're like, wow. But there's always a journey. There's always a journey. And I think this is what I love about these interviews, because it's the journey you hear where that person gets to let people know it's possible, right?
It's possible.
Right.
Trust me, I'm a witness.
Yes.
It's definitely possible. All you have to do, basically is have the passion for it.
Yeah.
And passion is the basis of everything that you do, that you take initiative to do.
Yeah.
And if you have that passion, guess what? Passion is that foundation, right? So you have educating yourself, the skills, the intrapersonal skills, because I'm an introvert, so I got to put my extrovert hat on. I had to learn how to be an extrovert. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of personal growth as well.
Yeah. And as I'm listening to you and talking about everything, I feel like, how men now are going to make that statement in the 21st century. Where is men's fashion you think is going to go in the 21st century, now that they're really, because like you said, it was always about the female, right? We've always catered to the female. And I feel like there's something brewing, and I think you've caught on to it.
That's it. That's the thing that I was about to say. It's brewing. It's like there.
Yeah.
And I'm starting, and I'm so proud that I'm a part of that generation where we're here to normalize the conversation of men in fashion.
Yeah.
Like, we're here to normalize how it makes you feel. We're here to normalize how we have to reshape society, as far as the mental, the mentality about men's clothing.
Yeah.
And how, it's okay to, get outside the norm. And, people are, and this is the 21st century, people are making statements anyway with fashion. People are making statements with anything, social media and everything. So, it deals with, because men have certain internal issues, right? We have our own pride issues, not, I'm not saying negative or positive, I'm just saying the issue is there. We have pride, we have, we got to take care of our families, we got to go out, things that men go through. And what a, better way to represent the man that's going out into the world is how we look, how we carry ourselves.
Yeah. lost in that shuffle, just what you're saying, because that's always kind of addressed with the women, just making sure you take care of yourself, because you're taking care of the family, you're doing this, you're doing that, always take care of yourself. And then we lose the men in that, because we don't think about them until it's almost like an afterthought. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
too, so
It's for issue. It's an underlying issue, other than fashion. It's an underlying issue with men in fashion, because like I say it's an emotional, physical, and mental, spiritual aspect that has to be addressed first.
Right.
For that confidence to be there to, pull something like this off. So the conversation is about like men's mental health, mental and physical health. Once we get those things, those basics together, then we can probably talk, about fashion as put fashion in that, in that conversation.
Right. And I agree with you on that. There's a lot of so many things that people have that don't allow them to be able to express themselves, whether it was the way they were, they grew up, or just their views, things. It's just so many different things. And I think that, people like you are going to be the way for a lot of people, that bridge, to, hey,
Hopefully.
Okay, this is where it's going to be there now. Come on now. You're that bridge that is going to change kind of the trajectory of how men perceive fashion. And that's the thing. Men can look just as good as a woman, and we both can be fly, and it's okay. It's not just seeing it on a magazine or seeing it at a what do you call those award shows? How everybody stand kind of.
Absolutely, it's the everyday joke.
Real life, right? We can have all types of events in real life. You got to just be you. And
listen, I'm going to the fabric store fly.
I know that's right. Oh, come on now. I know.
I'm going to the restaurant fly. I ain't gonna be no raggedy tail.
That's right. That's what I'm always, and I used to be kind of, I've gotten a little bit better myself. Even I was like, not going out with makeup and stuff. One of my girls was a long time ago. She said, you go out, if you go to the grocery store, you have some makeup on. I don't care whether if you got a new lipstick or something. You go out there, go to that grocery store fly. Like,
right. And that conversation, right? When we have that conversation, the bottom line is just self-confidence.
That's right.
And once we address those issues, then we can deal with the outer.
I mean, what you have on is just super duper fly. You remember Missy Elliott?
This was just an experiment. I had a jacket pattern, and I just had some this is actually some old jeans here. This is like old jeans, and the lining is actually my grandmother's curtains. And she passed away in 2019. So this is why I wore this to the interview. This is why I wore this, so she can be with me. And so she's actually my inspiration. She used to be and this is kind of segue into her. She was a seamstress. She made my aunts and my mother's clothes when they were younger, when they were teenagers. She was so stylish. She was so classy, so regal. And she became really sick with dementia since 2016. No, actually 2011. So when she started to get worse, she actually gave me all of her sewing tools. She gave me all, and she called me randomly because I was a caretaker, both my grandparents' caretakers until they passed. So when she called me down, I was like, hey, what's going on? She had all of her sewing tools there. She was like, look, take it. Like, I'm not going to use it anymore. Take it. So she's been like the biggest inspiration. My mother was a seamstress too, but like she really invested in my business and saw, even in the impetus of my business, she saw the passion that I had. And so, when you have a passion, somebody's, like you said, somebody's going to be there. Somebody's watching you. Somebody's
going to see you, and that's the great thing about when we do stuff, and the benefits of social media.
Oh, yeah.
The social, you can talk about the disadvantages of social media, but the great benefits of it is that you don't know who's watching, and you do enough of it that light, that passion that you said that comes through, and that was, like I said, one of the things that drew me to you, to interview. And I was just like, I gotta have him on my show. If I'm going to introduce men, I said, let me do that. And I'm definitely gonna have you back again.
Oh,
You
thank you.
know
I
that.
appreciate
I mean, but I just thank you for, sharing those things and sharing your passion, and sharing that your grandmother was such an influencer to
it.
where
Mhm.
you're at,
Yeah.
because that's the thing too. You have to have somebody that believes in you. Besides, I mean, you have to
Man,
believe in you too. But it's
yes.
always great if there's just that one person
That
that
one
want to
person.
support you, or believes in what you do, and that's all you need. You don't need a
That,
whole
that
bunch.
one right person.
One right person, right?
That,
You're
that
right
right
about
person.
that one right person, because a
Mhm.
lot of people will say they're supporting you, and that they're not. I mean, that's another.
That's another.
That's another show, right?
That's another
That's
show.
another show,
Woo!
right? We're gonna
Yeah.
talk about the positives, and then
We
come
talk
come
about the
back later and
positives,
talk
because
about things.
even though I have that passion there, there's a lot of stuff that comes with the territory of being who I am. A business owner, fashion designer. There's a lot going on, but at the end of the day, my passion is what motivates me and what drives me to do what I love to do. Like, I would spend night after night, all night sometimes, just sewing and just have these ideas in my head and just like trying to punch them out. And it's a wonderful process. It's just an awesome process. The process from start to finish is what I'm rewarded with the most. The seeing something started in my head. Now it's like I'm wearing it. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
That's like the most phenomenal thing to me,
and
you
that's the
know.
coolest thing. I mean, I just
Yeah.
can't even that is just so cool. I'm
Mhm.
not that talented in that way. I wish I was,
Girl,
drawing,
you
fashion and stuff, but
listen. You're Anita Baker Jr.
thank
You're
you.
Patty LaBelle the third. Girl, you good. You
Well,
good.
I appreciate it.
I remember that one party when you had the little concert. I was
Yeah.
like, yes, go ahead and sing, girl. Come
And I
on.
love and I love what I do. I
Yeah,
miss it, because we can't, because of COVID, but
yeah,
we'll slowly get back into it. We might not be as big in terms of the size, but we're slowly getting back. We're slowly
yeah.
getting
We
back.
are.
So
We are.
again, a passion of what we do, and we find success. Before we wrap things up, I just wanted to, and I think that we've answered this question. Um,
Mhm.
I think what attributes to your success, and I think that your grandmother has helped with
Yeah.
that piece, because of what she's done before she passed, and what you've
Yeah.
done after the fact,
Right.
in
Right.
acknowledging her.
A few. I'll say this. A few other important things that help me succeed um, is coming out of my comfort zone.
Mm,
It's so important to come out of your comfort zone, because in my arena, safety is a bad word.
yeah,
Being safe is almost a cuss word.
yeah.
Yeah,
Ah!
because it's all about stretching yourself. It's all about challenging yourself. It's all about building, about networking, about all those things that make you and your business grow.
Right,
And
right,
you can't just have, like in my line of work, you can't just have something and just have it. You have to do something with it.
right.
You network, and that's how we came to do this, and that's
Mhm.
how I came to get my products in the stores. That's how I get clients.
Yeah,
Just putting yourself out there and just having faith. And there's a certain phrase that says, betting on yourself.
yeah. Oh wow.
You got to bet on yourself. You got to believe in what you're doing, and you're not going to please everybody. Everybody's not going to like what you have, but trust me, somebody is.
Yeah, and I
And
think
that's the demographic that I concentrate on, the people that actually like what I have, and hopefully the people who don't like will get on board.
right, right.
So yeah.
Oh, I see it. I definitely see it. And you've said some things too, but I guess I must still ask, like, what one piece of advice that you could give somebody starting out?
Yeah, one piece of advice is make sure you become a student. Become a student. Always apt to learn. Because you never know what skill is out there that you can pick up later. So always be a student, always learn, get you a mentor, get you somebody that knows the way, ask questions, ask questions. You have to ask questions.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way you learn,
Yeah, I agree.
And network, just put yourself out there and just cast your net amongst the water and just see what happens. Yeah.
Wow, Greg, thank you so much. I mean, it's a pleasure and honor adding to this program of 50 and Unfiltered. This has been a really a great treat talking with you and learning about your company firsthand. And like I said, I've seen you on social media, but to hear your story and hear about your grandmother's influence and just all of the things that you had to do to get to where you are is an inspiration. And I hope people take note of this interview.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you so much. All right. So I just wanted to thank you again and letting everybody know this is Leslie Casey Blake, and you have been at The Interview. Hey everybody, this is Leslie Casey Blake, and welcome to Entertainment Under 2. Let's get started. All right, Chadwick Boseman received an award for the NAACP Image Award for Best Supporting Actor for his role in his last role, actually, in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I mean, he was terrific in it, and his wife actually accepted his award. You know, Chadwick died in August of last year of colon cancer, and she urged everyone to go get that colonoscopy, go ahead and get those screenings for that. And I know I'm due for one, and I'm definitely going to make sure that everything is good. My uncle actually passed away with colon cancer about 13 years ago. So we know how it affects, even especially in the African American community. So long live Chadwick's legacy. Okay, so you know the drama is still reeling from the interview with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry from the Oprah Winfrey interview. That one, yeah. So Piers Morgan, you know, he's got a thing about Meghan. I don't know what it is. I don't know if there was some thing between the two of them before. I don't know. But dude is like on her like white on rice. I mean, he just talks about her all the time. Well, you know, he left his show in Britain, that Good Day show or something like that. Well, anyway, Sharon Osbourne defending Piers, you know, on his topic about Meghan, saying that was his First Amendment rights to be able to, you know, speak his opinion. Well, hunty, shoot. The ladies at the top they had a little long conversation on the show. Well, that led to an investigation, and that led to other co-hosts coming out that previously were on the show. Man, the whole thing got so messy that Sharon Osbourne is out. Out. She out the top. I mean, whatever happened, I don't know what's going on, but man, that was some shady stuff that just went down. But anyway, we hope that the talk still resumes, but we'll see what Sharon has to say and what she's going to do afterwards. Last but not least, spring break is here and everybody done gone buck wild. Look, they done took all these cops down there in Miami. They had to make sure there's a curfew. They've been pushing people off the streets. I mean, it's been crazy. Kids ain't wearing masks. They out there partying. Look, I get it. We've been locked down for literally a year. I know things are starting to look like they're getting better. Everybody's getting vaccinated, things like that. That is great news. But I believe in the scientists, and they still saying we're not out of the woods. There's some variants going on. I mean, y'all, like, calm it down. Like, just a little bit. Like, let's just get over the hump. If we can get to June, maybe we'll have some real summertime fun. But if y'all keep doing this, y'all gonna hurt us, and we're gonna be right back at square one. But anyway, my opinion, but listen listen to scientists at least. If you don't want to listen to me, listen to scientists. Okay? All right, guys. This is Entertainment Under 2. Leslie Casey Blake, y'all. Yes, hunty. Thank you guys for another episode of 50 and Unfiltered. And I hope you enjoyed the show. Look out for more episodes coming soon in April and May. We have some great interviewees. Look out for 50 and Unfiltered Little Bites, which will appear on the off weeks when the extended version is not on. So we're doing some great things, and I hope that your continued support. And again, try to share these videos with your friends and family so we can build a wonderful network and community. I think the topics and discussions that we'll have are helpful to everyone, and I'm looking forward to always expanding the mission and agenda to 50 and Unfiltered. Okay, guys, until then, be safe, be kind, wear that mask, get vaccinated, and we'll see you real soon.